Yo, people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Chelsea Chat. It's been a minute since we've done one of these, but it is the right occasion to do it. After a result like yesterday's, and another defeat at the Emirates, another season without beating these European trophy dodgers, and just a really timid and pathetic attacking display. But yeah, we're going to delve into everything regarding the match, the mentality, the individuals. We're going to talk about the manager. We're going to talk about everything regarding Chelsea. So yeah, big up everybody. Hit the likes. Every single one of you, make sure you're subbed to CB as well. The link to his channel is in the title. So no excuses for you guys. It won't even take you away from the stream. It'll just open a new tab for all of you guys. So everybody hit the sub over there. And we will also be redirecting over to CB's channel because he's going live straight after this to talk about Newcastle's projects compared to us. So keep a lookout for that. But yeah, shout out to chat. Big up to every single one of you. Shout out to everybody. The Make Chelsea Great Again community and all of that. Big up to Abdi Has already saying loser mentality being installed by a cuck manager. Loki understand it after the whole handshake debacle and everything. And also this whole thing of just like constantly deflecting to like how many years Arsenal have been together compared to ours. But in terms of the game, like we're going to delve into everything else regarding that too. But big up to you, Abdias. And also big up to our co-host, CB. Great to have you back on the channel, my friend. I hope everything's good, bar the football. How you been, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I'll be honest. Yesterday's hurt, man. Yesterday actually really hurt me, man. It's probably the first time all season I've actually been pissed off about Chelsea. That it took me back to last season's Carabao Cup, last season semi-final. We were together for that one. Even last season's 5-0, the Arsenal one. And it's just more so for me, like just on a player pride standpoint, it hurt me to know that we lost 5-0 at that ground. That's probably the worst result I've seen in my lifetime as a Chelsea fan. I'm not sure about you. And to think we go back to that exact same ground and put down a performance like that, it just lets me know the people that actually play for this club, the personnel, the badge means nothing to them. It goes down to just how much does this really mean to you at the end of the day? We went there and we were spineless, we were toothless. We went there as if we didn't have a chip on our shoulder. It's generally a disgrace. I've got so much to say, but I want to structure the show nicely. I don't want to just kind of go on tangents. But all in all, yeah, I'm upset, man. I'm upset. How are you doing? Yeah, the game, you've come back a bit sick as well, the way he's looking.
Yeah, I had to catch something at that shithole. It is what it is. But I'm with you in terms of like that performance was so easy for Arsenal. It was as straightforward as just get a goal and relax because we're never going to do anything in that final third. And like before anyone says it, every single aspect of the club has to be held accountable again for a performance like this. And I include the manager in that because everyone likes to say it's either I'm only going to talk about Maresca, I'm only going to talk about the players. It's a both thing. I think there's a lot of individuals who really let the team down. I think some of the selections from the manager and also like the lack of changes that we saw, like how late the changes were, none of that helped us either. Also, in hindsight, like, did Palmer really have to play 45 against Copenhagen if he just came back from training the day before? No. And look where it's led to us. Because, look, if I had to bring everything down to like 1 point, and there's going to be other points as well, because like it's not just down to one reason why we didn't win the game. But we already know how much we're struggling in the attack without Jackson and Noni. We should not have rushed Palmer back then, just for the hope that he break his goal-scoring duck against Copenhagen. Like, it's naive. It's so naive. And now we've lost the only guy who can turn out of the press, the only guy that can actually take on a player successfully out of that entire attack and actually try to have shots on goal. And look at the end result. That timid, useless attacking front three of Neto, Sancho, and Nkunku. Them three couldn't score in a fucking brothel. Like, these men barely even threatened that front line. I see Sancho giving Lewis Skelly the easiest game of his life. Nkunku, who was so pointless, he made Dewsbury Hall look better than him in a 15-minute cameo playing off the left-hand side. Neto, all I'm praising is the dog work. Great. But that's the thing people use for Gallagher and Mount the last couple seasons. I ain't gonna start using it for you.
Facts.
That's a bare minimum.
But
This is our front line.
This is where I point the finger though at the manager, yeah, because like you said, 100%. Why did Palmer come on against Copenhagen? We weren't under pressure. They didn't equalize. We were winning the tie throughout. He did not need to come on, and it's not like he doesn't know. He doesn't value resting players for big games because we sacrificed the Carabao Cup to Newcastle in the round of 16 because he made 11 changes for a Man United game against a Ten Hag-less Man United who just sacked him and had Ruud van Nistelrooy, and we didn't even win that game. So he knows what it takes in terms of big games because he has rested players for these big games before. Him bringing on Palmer was negligence. And I don't even want to pin that all on why we lost the game because Arsenal had no Saka. Arsenal had no Saka at the end of the day, so we can't use that and say no Palmer. That neutralizes it. This is when now I go to the manager's naivety because we spoke in the preview of the game on Hooks' channel, and I said the tactic to beat Arsenal is simple. We've seen the template. We need to switch. He needs to abandon his principles and adapt to the personnel because we don't have the personnel to go play football over there. No, the players are not available. We don't have Jackson. We don't have Noni. Palmer, we didn't know weren't going to be fit. But we don't have the personnel to go and play football. But as well as that, we have a team that's transitional, that can hit on the break. We saw it in Newcastle. How we beat Newcastle at home was being good defensively and then hitting them on the break. Brighton 4-2, hitting them in transition. Wolves hitting them in transition. Those were the best Palmer games, but sidebar. But that's the way to beat Arsenal. Because Arsenal are comfortable giving the team the ball. They're so compact. We have no striker, so we're gonna have Neto up top or Nkunku, who are gonna be defending in the box with Saliba and Gabriel. Nothing's going to get done. We've got Sancho, who hasn't completed a cross.
That still does make a good point though. Like Nkunku and Sancho, you can't do transitional play with them. They're just too slow.
No, but hear me out. We've got an outlet in Neto. We've got an outlet in Tyreek George. We've got somebody like Enzo Fernandez who can pick out a pass. We've got someone like Caicedo who can pick out a pass. Reece James in midfield doesn't make any sense to me. Lavia is right there in his position. Lavia is better at midfielder than Reece James. This argument of, Reece James is in midfield because he can't bomb up and down. So you're telling me a professional footballer is being shoehorned in a position he can't play in at his best ability because he can't run. If a professional footballer can't run anymore, then he has to retire. That's what, you know what I mean? He shouldn't be playing.
I don't want to stop your flow, but like I think the reason why Reece is there is because of the lack of physicality that we have in that midfield without him. Because like with Lavia, we can do that and play out the press. You could see in that game, the only man that we had there showing physicality and winning duels was Caicedo. Even Enzo, like, picking out a pass and everything, I hear it. He was over touching everything in that game. Everything. And like, I didn't even think he was great.
Yeah, but I'll touch on Enzo a bit afterwards. Pause. But in terms of, I know this just go on a profiling issue because I think the manager misprofiles a lot of the players in the squad, like Reece James being in midfield. But if you're going into this game and we deploy a low to mid block and try to hit them in transition, the same way West Ham beat them at home, the same way they struggled against Nottingham Forest, the same way they struggled to Man United. So it's teams like West Ham and Man United who are on the bottom half of the table have gone against Arsenal and gotten a result. So with this way of playing, if we played the mid to low block and had profiling, because I don't rate these players, Neto as an outlet, Tyreek George as an outlet. If you wanted to play Lavia, I would have personally put Caicedo as a right back and inverted him under this system. Lavia, Enzo pivot. If you want to have a 10, put Sancho in the 10, Tyreek George, Neto. That's enough for me. That in terms of transition, people that can pick a pass, people that are creative enough to make something happen, I would have ideally gone down that as opposed to a front three of Nkunku, Neto, and Sancho, which all three of them can't create. Two of them are slow. None of them are physical enough. None of them are goal threats. Sancho has one shot on target since December. Sancho has no crosses since December. Neto is getting outscored by a makeshift DM in Marino this season in the league. Nkunku, God bless him, but I think them balloons on his socks are used for smart whip. He's definitely, he ain't scoring. So why they're in your socks? He does smart whip. The way he plays, you can tell. So in terms of him, call him out, but have him out of the equation. But on a profiling issue, I'll be honest, the manager's misusing a lot of the players. I don't understand the Reece James. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand the Reece James.
For Reece, I get it, simply because no aggression, no physicality in that midfield. Lavia, I wanted to see start, but the fact that he had 10 minutes, I'm guessing he just wasn't ready. Which it just adds to the fucking problems that we already have. But like, bro, if he played 10 minutes, he clearly weren't able to play 45. Like, I have to put it down to that, because like, you're not just not going to play him. We've seen Maresca throw him into Anfield with no starts before that, and he still plays well. Just, I don't think he was there. I don't think he was available, and that's why Reece James has got to go into the midfield, because like, we already struggle in terms of like being able to be progressive without the likes of Lavia, without trying to break the press without Lavia. At least with Reece James, we're not getting bullied as much, even if he is still a little bit passive and like he's not comfortable in that role.
I beg to differ. Because in build-up today, we had big build-up yesterday. We were struggling to build up, because even this idea of, for me, why I said it to you on the preview, why I would have preferred for him to now tactically go with the mid to low block and try to play that way, as opposed to going to play football, because we didn't have the personnel. You can see it when we were trying to string passes. We could barely string 5 passes at the back. We were struggling. Now, ideally, having Enzo in that Reece James position would have made more sense in terms of build-up, because Enzo would thrive in them positions in the first phase, combining play, 1-2, moving the ball around. And then if you can put Enzo there, and you put Fofana in his actual position, you put Reece James as a right back. In the 10, you could put, I don't know, Sancho there, because what Enzo done in the 10 was pretty much nothing anyway. Put Sancho there, and then you have some extra outlet in Tyreek George, who can also run in behind. And I'm not saying Tyreek George is a world beater, but in a profile,
I hear it.
It made sense.
No, I get that, but like, in terms of like Enzo in that role, like, you still have to think about the duel winning and like the defensive transitions and all of that. And like, I hear the passing, but I won't lie, he let me down on the ball too. So many times he gets the ball and it takes him like 3-4 extra touches for him to release it. And it's part of the reason why we were so slow building up at times. So like, for him, I was just disappointed again with his performance. Like, I think the last couple games he's not really been on it. Leicester, I thought he was okay, but he got beaten way too many times to my liking. Copenhagen, he was sloppy as fuck, but like, everybody was sloppy as fuck. So I didn't really like get onto him too much for it. But now it's the third game where I just think, you know what, your level's dropped a little bit. It's dropped a little too much for me. Hopefully it comes back after the break, but honestly, like, we needed Lavia just to be able to get out of that. Because we're already missing players that can turn their way out of pressure without Jackson and without Cole Palmer. Without Lavia, it's another one. And then you've got these man, fucking Sancho and Nkunku. These man do not move. They don't move.
But this is
so
why
it's just all static.
But this is why the profiling, if you've got Sancho, it doesn't take a rocket science to know a front three of Neto, Sancho, and Nkunku is on similar levels to Havertz, Mount, and Gallagher we had in 22-23, fam. It's dark. They're not doing nothing. Having a profile like Tyreek George on a profiling standpoint, somebody that's gonna run in behind, that's got an extra bit of pace, physicality, you know, that's gonna take a shot, maybe cross in. I would rather do that, take that risk. It's the same issue that Arteta had when they had the injury crisis, and he said, you know what, I'm gonna slap Ethan Ranieri on, put him right wing, because I know as a pro, you may not have the experience, but on the profile standpoint, you make more sense for me right now. You might as well, then Sterling, for example, you might as well play. I think I would have preferred him if he'd done that. But then, as well as that, it's that we can't just ignore the negligence here. How naive of you to go there and try and play that football, knowing that team is probably, in terms of any team in the league, they're the most comfortable having a low block and being compact in their box. They did it with 10 men against Manchester City at the Etihad and held on to the very last second of the game. So they are very comfortable playing that way. They don't mind doing that. Every Arsenal fan we spoke to was like, you know, I want you guys to go and play football against us. We want to sit back because that's the way to win. So why would they do that? And then, in terms of just Enzo Fernandez, yeah, for me, Palmer being out, Saka and Palmer both being out, I think that neutralizes each other. Regardless, Enzo Fernandez is the face of this project. We signed him for 105 million. When we signed Palmer, we didn't expect Palmer to replace Enzo as the best player in the team. The notion was this is Enzo's team. So Palmer being out now, this is your opportunity for you as the main man to put the team on your back away from home when we need a win in a must-win game. You played in that 5-0. You was awful that game too. You know what it takes. You've been getting a lot of praise for your performances against Southampton and Leicester. I think you were decent. Fair enough. In a game like this, where we are turning to you, you are the main man in the team, that performance he dropped was unacceptable. Chasing his touch, heavy passes, heavy touches, mistiming his touches, not running back, losing all his duels. He had a chance where we was through on goal. There was Neto and Nkunku behind. He could have held up the ball, passed it back to them, and he tried to shoot on a half volley the first time. Like, what are you doing?
That just screamed frustration. It was like, we didn't look like doing anything in the final third. Man did a hit and hold shot. What?
That was in the first half. And
bro. But I could tell the frustration from that point already. You could tell from like 15, 20 minutes into the game. We were under the cosh before we went 1-0 down. Then we went 1-0 down. They relieved a little bit more of the pressure because look at our attack. 1-0, game's done. Just sit back and do what you do best, which is defending.
And I want to make this clear, yeah? I don't think Enzo's the reason we lost the game. But that performance, to me, is not good enough. I put the performance, I put the result down to the manager at the end of the day. I just, the subs, you didn't make your first sub till the 74th minute. We needed a goal. You're subbing on Tosin and Gusto. You're doing mad stuff.
Those were the last two subs, to be fair. Like, my biggest problem with the subs,
we're chasing a goal. Why are you subbing on two defenders?
I don't know, but we only had two forwards we could throw on, and they got thrown on before that. So, like, if they were the first two subs, I'd be fuming. I hear it. My bigger problem is that they were late. 76 minutes for our first sub is stupid. Like, Sancho or Nkunku could have been off at half time, and I wouldn't have made a single complaint. It should not have taken that long because these players also have to grow into the game as well, especially the likes of Tyreek George. The pressure that you're throwing him into at his age and his level of inexperience, let him have a bit more time there to at least accustomize himself to it. Not 76 minutes. But, like, in terms of the subs that we made, I don't really know what more we could have done. You look at the bench, there's two goalkeepers, Chalobah and Achimpong. Those are the only ones that we didn't bring on. Nothing you could do other than the subs that you cut. And actually, Dewsbury Hall was better than Nkunku, for whatever it's worth. It just should have been earlier. That's why I agree with you. 76 minutes is damn pointless.
And
for me, also the starting lineup. Sanchez, I don't know how he's got back into the lineup. And also, again, Nkunku. Can't be bothered. Every single minute that Nkunku gets should be going to Tyreek George at this point.
But you see, with stuff like this, yeah, with the why Sanchez playing, all of this type of stuff, this is when now you point the fingers on the directors. Because yes, I am Maresca out. Before being Maresca out, even while Maresca was at the top of the second on the table, I was calling for the directors to be sold, to be sacked for what they done in the summer window, when they didn't address none of the squad's issues. We knew we needed a top goalkeeper. We knew we needed two centre-backs with Thiago Silva and Chalobah leaving. We knew we needed legs in the midfield. Even before we sold Gallagher, we needed legs in the midfield. They sold him and replaced him with Dewsbury Hall. We knew we needed goals, attacking wingers that could score. You brought in Neto with 8 career league goals. You brought in Sancho, who we don't even have to speak on that. And then you brought in Yao Felix, whose best position is Palmer's best position. Brought in no striker apart from Mark Gu from Barcelona B. And I don't know, I can't remember last time Barcelona developed a striker, barring maybe Icardi or Bojan Kirkic, who ended up at Stoke City. So,
right, Icardi was La Masia.
Yeah, he's La Masia still.
Right, I never knew that. Mad.
Yeah, mad. And so I don't understand. I've been saying this from when we were second on the table. I was saying the reason why we're only second right now is because they didn't address the squad. I've been saying this even when we was winning games. You know me from the first time we ever spoke on Never Foul over a year ago. I've been calling for the directors and the ownership and the model to change from the very beginning. I remember when the fan base was running the Poch out movement, rightfully so, he lost 5-0. He had to go. It is what it is. Yeah,
Mm.
I don't care. I don't hold on to managers. I'm Chelsea. We've seen the best of the best.
Yeah, for the record, CB ain't a Poch apologist, but yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the best of the best come and go. But my issue was with the Poch stuff. I wanted us to put that energy towards directors out, change the model, because our voices as a fan base were very loud for Poch out, and I was like, cool, fair enough. But the same excuse, like this is the thing, the same complaints you guys had about Poch can be used for Maresca. The same excuses that people made about Poch can be used with Maresca. Ultimately, it's the same cycle. Things haven't changed. You can complain players are being played out of position this year. Last year, you guys were saying the same. Players are getting injured in training last year. Palmer got injured in training. I'm not saying the same amount, but I'm just using it as an example of how things are similar. You know what I'm saying? The football
No, I
is
hear it,
boring.
but like players do get injured. That's why it's a level of injury that was being brought up for last season. Because like, we had 10 injuries per match day, innit?
But this, I understand that. Is in terms of content, I'm just saying the general complaints you could have against Maresca were the same general complaints a lot of people had around Poch. The same excuses people are making to defend Poch, the directors, the squad's not good enough, the team let him down, oh, the January window, are all the same things that the people that were defending Poch was using to defend Poch.
Now, as someone who was using that, I just want to, for my side of it, it's what I think me and like a lot of other people have thought is that now it's been another season. Whereas like last season, it was like season 2 under these directors. I'm looking at you guys sideways, but like I look at Poch, I don't rate him. I might give them one more year to either prove something to me or for me to just write them off. Now, I've had this season. I've seen the next 2 windows on top of everything before. Can't be bothered. That's why I'm now with you with the directors. You were right to call it out from the start. Don't get it twisted. You saw it before a lot of us. For me, I genuinely thought things would have got better as soon as we got rid of him, and it's got better, but not to the right level that we want. And that's the director's fault.
And 100%.
And the owners.
The directors, before they signed Poch, had the opportunity to sign Luis Enrique. The directors, before we signed Maresca, had the opportunity to get Hansi Flick. I already mentioned the transfer window. The fact that we on the last day we couldn't get Osimhen done, and then in January we didn't get a striker at all is criminal. Now a lot of people are say to me all the time, because obviously I'm newer than everyone else. So when you first probably see me this season, yes, I was saying we're gonna win the league. Next year, no matter who the manager is, I'm gonna say we're gonna win the league because I'm Chelsea. That's how I've always been. I don't care about the squad. I don't care about the personnel. I don't care who the manager is. My standard will never change. I go into every season wanting to win the league. If we're second in the league in December, we had this debate on your channel, and a lot of people were saying we're not in the title race. And I'm saying, as Chelsea fans in December, we can't run away from the title talk. I have an issue with the manager, even in regards to the title stuff, doing the press tours, telling everyone we're not ready, we're not ready, we're not ready, we're not ready. You can see the correlation between us falling off and him telling us we're not ready. It went like this. Oh, we're not ready. Okay, the players thought, why not? Why are we competing? Why are we dropping points, losing games to Ipswich? From the moment he said that, we lost at Fulham. We lost to Fulham at home for the first time in 45 years. That game was his fault as well, because in the first, we was 1-0 up in the 80th minute, and the first sub he made was in Nkunku for Jackson when we had 3 defenders on the bench. We lost 2-1.
Yeah, you got out-coached by Silva too.
Ipswich, we lost 2-0. Their first win since 2002 at home. Mind you,
and by that was on Maresca for the Sassy right back with 3
right
back
once again on him. Palace 1-1 first sub in the 80th minute, 1-0 up once again.
Palace, I don't think was on him.
Mark Gu, for me, subbing on Mark Gu for Jackson in the 80th minute when we're under pressure away from home, is mad. When you have 3
No, I hear that was a late sub for that game, but bro, we cooked Palace all match and we just didn't.
No, we did in the footballing standpoint. But you need, as a manager, you need to adapt to your situation. Learn from your mistake at Fulham. When you're the better team, you have pressure. You're under pressure now, and you have defenders on the bench. See out the game. You done it at Newcastle against Newcastle at home.
I hear it. I think the Palace game is a 2 things can be correct thing. Like the sub should have been earlier, but bro, we spliffed them all game and we put 1 shot on target. That's on Jackson. I'll be so real. Even the Bournemouth one, I agree again. The subs were late.
Yep. what Bournemouth once again.
We should have been 4-0 up at
was
half
winning.
time.
But this is the thing. You can't go. That's a run of 5 games without a win, yeah? As Chelsea fans, yeah, I've seen the best of the best come and go from my club. From Ancelotti, from Scolari, a World Cup winner, even though he was dead for us. A Jose Mourinho, a Thomas Tuchel. I've seen the best of the best come at my club and leave. 5 games without a win to Fulham, Ipswich, Palace, Bournemouth, and Everton is a sackable offense. And I remember coming on here after the Bournemouth game. Sorry, bro.
A 5-game run.
That was we went 5 straight. No,
look, I agree with the level of the opposition, but
that's what I'm saying. The level of the opposition is mad. So then, cool. At the time, I said to the guys, I wasn't even Maresca out at this point. I said to the guys, yo, we need to be worried. I came on here after the Bournemouth game. That's when me and Jimmy argued. Because I said, guys, top 4 might not be in the balance. Everyone came on me. You're so negative. What do you mean we're not gonna get top 4? What do you mean we might not get top? I didn't even say we won't get it. I said we might not get top 4. What do you mean? What do you mean? I said Manchester City are creeping up, Newcastle are creeping up. But if we lose to Man City at the Etihad, they're going to be 4th now. No, that's not gonna happen, isn't that? Another big game. By the way, we are the second team. We are the only team in the top 6 that Man City have done the double against. The first time we lost to them at home, I hear it. It was the first professional game under this manager. The excuse around the fan base was, they're Man City, we're levels away from them. We're levels away from Man City. They're the champions right now. Everyone started slapping them up. As a fan base, we're all like, we can get something against City. Man United are beating City. Oh, look, these Spurs are beating City. Oh, we're going to do something to City. The way we lost to that level. Disgraceful. Once again, we was a goal up. Then, I'm saying, guys, I can't lie. This guy might have to go. This is the thing. I've clocked it. He has to go because his response after the game was, oh, they've been together for so many years. They've been together for X amount of years. Ange beat City in his first season. We lost today. We lost yesterday.
No, see, that's what I have a complete agreement with you on. Like, I hate this thing that we do when we lose big games and we just come out and say, oh, but they've been together for 7 years and we've only been here for a year or 2. So it's okay, guys. No, that's defeatist. That is straight defeatist. I'm never, ever, ever going to co-sign that shit. I refuse. Because I'll see any man go there and beat Man City. I've just seen fucking West Ham with Graham Potter, who's been there for the best part of a month, go there and beat Arsenal. So I'm not hearing that crap about... You tell me why we didn't win, and I'll listen to, like, analytical reasons and, like, tactical shit and, like, players. Don't tell me Arsenal been together 7 years. Piss off. And, like, it seems like we're telling the players to do it as well, because I see Caicedo come out...
as well. That's what I'm saying.
Reece James after the Man City game. It's like the club are telling the players to do that.
And why this is hurting me, yeah? Because you can see Graham Potter's been at West Ham for a month and he got a result at that same ground with a way worse team than us.
Bro, Amorim with 10 men
Amorim got a result against them. Ruben Amorim's got a result against Manchester City. He got a draw against Liverpool. This is what I'm saying. But then what my problem is now is the brainwashing that it does towards the fan base. My thing is very simple. I just want the standard to be what the standard has always been. I'm 24 years old, born in 2000, yeah? My first season, league title. Second season, league title. Third season, FA Cup. Fourth season, Champions League final. Fifth season, FA Cup. Sixth season, Champions League, league. Second season, Cup. Third season, Champions League. Fourth season, Europa League. I mean, ninth season. I'm going off my hand. But you know what I'm saying? I have seen levels we have been at all my life. The first game I went to was 09-10. 8-0 against Wigan. I was bad in school. I used to be bare naughty in school and that, like, you know what I'm saying? They used to try to test me for ADHD. My mum wasn't having it. I was them type of kids. I was always the parents even and he's a distraction, but he's smart. You know what I'm saying? I actually behaved myself. My dad took me there to the bridge. I saw my first game. I saw a Drogba hat trick. I saw a clean sheet. I saw us win 8-0. I saw a striker win the golden boot. I saw us lift the trophy. That's my first time I've ever gone to the bridge as a 9-year-old. That's my standard. So then now when I'm hearing our fan base See us, we've lost to Arsenal after losing 5-0 there. The return fixture, we've gone and lost to an Arsenal team that didn't even have their best player. That had a makeshift DM as the striker. And we barely had any serious shot on target, barring Kukureya's Ray miss-saving Kukureya's shot from outside the box. And then the majority of the fan base are going to turn around and say to me, oh, well, they've been together. They've been together for mad years. Oh, they've been together. It's our first season with this new manager. What are you talking about? Ancelotti won the league in his first season. Tuchel won the Champions League in his first season. Jose, who had the youngest squad in the league because the excuses that were young, Jose had the youngest squad in the league and we won the league. So what we doing here? You guys don't realize that slowly the standard is dropping and dropping and dropping. This is why I go into every season saying I want to win the league, because the only thing that matters is the league. Fuck top 4. Everyone came in, started the season. Oh, yeah, we're going to get top 4. I want to go top 4 this season. What's top 4? When the players retire, do they celebrate top 4? Do they have a parade for top 4? Do they take pictures and frame it on the wall and say, yo, yeah, 2025, we finished top 4? No one cares.
Nope.
The standard is dropping. And then everyone keeps saying, oh, football's changed. Modern managers now. No one understands it. Who's the modern managers that are winning? I'd like to know. What modern managers are winning? I'm confused. The holder of the Champions League right now is Carlo Ancelotti. He's available this summer, by the way, who I would bring in to replace Maresca. And before anyone says that's unrealistic, he won the Champions League and then went to Everton. Why would he not come here? So this is what I'm saying. Pep's not a modern manager. His first season was in 2008.
Big up, man.
Big up, Ziad. What are you saying, bro?
What you saying, man?
Oh, he's wanted to add to that as well. Like, CB, just add to that as well, because, like, look, I understand that, like, with what we're having right now, you will have you will drop points. What I don't like is coming out and saying that it's okay to do it. Tell me why we've lost. Tell me the reasons why we've lost. Say that you're not happy about it. Say that obviously, like, we still need to progress and we're still in the case of it, but like results of this aren't acceptable. You would come out of that being a little bit more relaxed. Like, at least we're on the right track. At least we got the right mentality. Don't come out here and tell me that it's okay because this team's been together for a few years. What you're telling me indirectly is that it's all right if we drop points. It's fine. They've been together for a few years. We haven't. Like, I get that, especially when you look at the fact that we've lost all of our 3 best forwards. We're going to look a little bit worse in the final third. I get all of that. But tell us that instead of just giving us this PR bullshit about, it's all right. See, you've been together for a couple years. Arsenal been together for a couple years. That is defeatist, and that's why I'm with you in terms of it's lowering the standards. Because you're acting like it's okay, and it's not okay. So that's what I wanted. This is what I'm saying.
But no, 100%, you're spot on. But for me, the fan base, it irritates me how we've allowed our club's standards to fall so fast. Like, I'm saying, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, it's a new Chelsea. Oh, we're a new Chelsea. Oh, you shouldn't expect. Why shouldn't I expect that? We as the fan base, the only things that are remaining of the club right now, from the previous era, is Chelsea, the fans. Why have we become Blue Coal's PR team? This is what I don't understand. Because anytime you criticize from the jump, I've been calling this out from the moment they sacked Tuchel. And I said, whoa, these men are moving mad. That was it. They lost me from that moment onwards. Because I'm going to talk about it on my stream later on. But Newcastle, for example, when SIF took over, they were bottom of the league relegation team. They didn't sack Eddie Howe. They kept Eddie Howe. They got Champions League qualification before us. That already was a red flag. They touched the cup final before us. Another red flag. We inherited, sorry, PIF, not SAF. I'm tweaking. PIF. But as I was saying, already we were inherited. We were bought as the champions of the world. They were bottom of the Premier League. How have they managed to get Champions League qualification and a trophy before us? And then everyone can nitpick, oh, well, this happened and they're not doing this and all of this stuff. Oh, they didn't have to go out there with all of this extra excuses. At the end of the day, why is Chelsea's project, Chelsea Football Club, being compared to Newcastle United? The fact that that's even a discussion in itself has let you know that the standards of our club has fallen. But when you call it out, the fan base will say, oh my gosh, you hate the club. Do you know what I hear all the time? Oh my gosh, you're so negative, you hate the club. Oh, you do this for clicks. Oh, you're not proper Chelsea. Go support Spurs. I don't love Chelsea. I'm not the same guy who was told on a Friday that there was a protest on a Sunday while I was in Paris, booked a booked a Eurostar, landed at 6 a.m, went home, dropped my luggage, didn't shower, went to Stamford Bridge, and nobody was there for the protest. I'm the same guy who my 1-year anniversary with my missus was yesterday. Yesterday, we was meant to go out for dinner, sexy fish. We lost to Arsenal, and I told her I'm not going out and celebrating no occasions when Arsenal have just beaten Chelsea. Fuck that. She stormed out my house, started crying. I ain't even spoken to her since because I think she's even selfish for making me question and put our relationship over Chelsea. What's the point of starting a family and having kids if my kids are going to grow up and see my fucking shit club like this? I didn't see Chelsea like this. Why should my kids do that? Why should I settle down and have a family? But apparently, I'm not a real Chelsea fan. I'm a fake fan because I'm not a blue coal NPC toxic positive merchant who wants Maresca as my manager and Win Stanley and Lawrence Stewart as directors. I'm not a guy that enables signing Mark Gu for 6 million. I'm not a guy that was saying Jorgensen's going to be our number one when he's fucking shit too. This is the thing when it comes to our fan base. We enable every single person we prop for. Alex Goldberg was on his knees for Matthias Tell. Oh my gosh, if we don't sign Matthias Tell, he's fucking shit too. But we enable everything. We are the reason where we're at right now is because we enabled every little thing they told us. They told us it was a 4-window plan. And after the 4th window, we'll be ready to compete. That 4th window, we signed. I want to repeat it. Mark Gu, Tosin Adebayo on a free. Jorgensen, KDH, Neto Sancho, Felix. We didn't address the squad whatsoever. We couldn't get Olise done. We couldn't get Osimhen done. But Fabrizio said, oh, news coming soon with Olise. News coming soon with Osimhen. So you guys didn't want to call out the window because you thought we was getting these players. They fucked us off. Our project isn't attractive. Our club isn't what we used to be. We're dying in real time. And what do you guys do? At least I go to protest. At least I'm doing something. What are you guys doing? Because you're doing toxic positivity. Oh, trust the process. It takes time. Oh, in 5 years, we'll be good. In 2030, when Payet is in his prime, we're going to be world class. Fuck that, man. Wake up and make Chelsea great again. The moment you lot realize we're dying, and us as a fan base, we've got a voice. We're the only thing left of our club. Pull this stuff out. I don't understand this.
That's why I'm with you, man. We gotta maintain the standards. I say you gotta look at the reasons behind everything, but I also say don't accept defeat. Don't accept it. Look at the reasons for it. I don't mind because at least then you're just talking about the game. You're talking analytics. Don't give me defeatist mentality. I don't like defeatist mentality at all. Shout out to
it's
Sam,
not hard, man. It's not hard, Lewis, bro. If you don't get top 4, you gotta leave. It's not complicated. I don't know why this year everyone complicates life. People like to complicate life. If the guy don't make top 4, he's got to leave. I don't care what excuse you want to get or what excuse you want to give him. There's no excuses. If you look at it, people love to compare him and Poch. Well, listen, Poch obviously effed up with his injuries, but this is still this squad now. You know, Colwell, all these man, second year in the Premier League, all that. They're more experienced than what we had last year. I'm not here for all this experience. We need experience. What, to get top 4 in this bloody league? We go 2 wins.
Sancho and Nkunku are our experience. Look how that worked out.
Bro, this is all nonsense. If the guy doesn't get top 4, he leaves and we get someone else. Okay? Like, we don't get top 4, but he wins the Conference League. No one cares about Conference League. I'm not bothered about that, bro. Like, no one should go to that final. I don't care if that final is in
Stamford Bridge. Speak to yourself. I'll be there.
No, man, don't go to that rubbish, man. Don't go to that rubbish. Don't go to that dead game. I don't think I've watched one Conference League game. Like, forget that, man. Honestly, you can't, like, if you're a fan, if you're a Chelsea fan, this is in general, you're a football fan. The only thing you man got is standards. Okay, once you choose to lower your standards, that's when the club goes to the bin. That's it, finish. Once you don't have your own standards, and once you start lowering them, that's it. What's the point? There's no point of supporting the club because there's no bar that they got to reach. There's no level that they've got to reach. So what's the point? At the end of the day, right now, I don't know if we're gonna get top 4 or not. It actually closed. This table is actually close. From where we are in 7th, it's not been that far. But if he doesn't get it, That's it. He's got to go. That's why I'm not mad. I'm not angry because it's fine. I've been saying it the whole season. I'm not angry.
I'll be angry if we don't get top 5.
No, but I'm saying like, right now we're not playing well. Or it's fine because he's got to go anyway. Then he's got to go, and then the sport directors can follow him as well.
It'll be sporting directors first for me before Maresca.
No,
I'll throw that in the hands of the
I think they go together though.
Same time.
That would be fine by me. But I will leave that in the hands of the next sporting director. If the next sporting director don't want him, fine, go.
This is what I'm saying. I think they go.
Maybe the next sporting directors would actually like back him a bit more than the 2 shit windows that we brought in.
Bro, the sporting directors, their job is on Maresca doing well. They're the ones that vetoed Bali's decision and actually insisted on bringing in Maresca and doing this project. They're on their 3rd managerial hire. They're the ones that sacked Graham Potter, their project manager they actually hired mid-season, brought in Lampard. So that was their first hire. They insisted on Pochettino instead of Luis Enrique. That's the fan-based majority of you lot hate Pochettino. That's on their hands. Then they brought in Maresca instead of Hansi Flick. That's on their hands. Now, you're playing with private equity money at the end of the day. Bali wants Champions League football. That's why he's pulling the trigger. If we don't get Champions League football and your decisions have led to this with this manager, and you're seeing Luis Enrique, what he's doing, you're seeing Hansi Flick, what he's doing, at the end of the day, they're going with him. You're playing with private equity money. You look at Sky Sports. We're hardly on TV when we play on Sundays. They show Aston Villa and Brighton and Newcastle over us on Sky. We're losing TV revenue.
We're barely on the adverts anymore.
We're not even in the adverts. We don't even have a front of shirt sponsor. Another year of Champions League football, you think these sporting directors are going to stay? They're gone with him. And Luis Campos is available. Chicky from Manchester City is available. There's people that can come here and do their job at a higher level. They will go. You think the sporting model is going to stay the same now? After 3 years, 3 manager hires trying this model and it's not working. Eventually now, they're going to realize we're losing money. Money is now being lost. This is private equity money. They need recoups. This model isn't working. They will start again. That it happens. Football changes. This is what I'm saying. If Chicky's retiring, Luis Campos is there anyway, who's run an actual under 25 model. So it's not like these things can't be addressed. The same way we died in 3 years, we can come back to life in 2 years. It's part of the game. So I don't think he's gonna go. I don't think because he goes, the sporting directors don't go with him. They go alongside each other and we rebuild this project. It's very simple.
The only thing I'll say is that don't you think, like, if we're gonna be a little bit fair, they've scouted a couple good players. They've scouted a couple good players, man, coming in. Like, even now, the players that haven't joined us. If we look at Desiree Doué and Barcola and what's this game that go on?
Desiree Doué weren't keen on the project either, bro.
No, cool. Obviously, I'm not saying they've all joined, but I'm saying even the players that haven't joined, Duran, all that. A lot of these players Chelsea went for a couple years ago. You know what I mean? So, like Andre Santos now and Palmer, they've scouted good players for those that have joined and that haven't joined, but they just can't pick a good manager. They don't know what it's like to pick a good manager. But the individuals, I'm not gonna like some of the players.
You think it's just the manager and not their recruitment?
That's even them alone.
Look at the players that we're going for.
Even them alone, though.
All we were told last season was when Nkunku comes back, everything's going to be okay. He looks like one mannequin, bro. Useless fucking bum, and that's briefings that's come from the club. We knew that Wesley Fofana, he didn't play a single minute last season, and then we didn't go and get in a profile that's very similar to him. Then Fofana gets injured, and we have no centre-backs that can play with recovery pace, and we get cooked in transition. No Lavia replacement, no striker over the last 4 windows on repeat, and we're going to pretend that these sporting directors are blameless. No, they're more to blame.
Yeah. Obviously, in terms of
because we knew Maresca has a rigid system. We know he's a stubborn fuck when it comes to his tactics. So if you know that because he had a detailed interview in the interview process, you go and you get him every available profile so he can manage that even with injuries. And we didn't do that. We have barely upgraded this squad from last season. Barely.
100%, because they didn't, like I said earlier, they didn't address the issues that we have in the squad. The same issues we have in the squad this time last year, we have right now. But the recruitment, like you said, the scouting has been good. We've scouted Elise, we scouted Barcola, we scouted John Duran, we scouted Isak, we're scouting all these guys. But in terms of recruitment, they're not getting their job done. That's when you have to now look at not only Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart, because they are the criminals, 100%, but Joe Shields also comes into the fold. As the head of recruitment, it's your job to get these deals over the line, recruit these players, bring them in. Yes, cool. It's nice to identify these players. I can identify that Rodrigo is good. Does that mean he's gonna join the club? I can identify that Vinny Jr. is a baller. Is that gonna bring them in? At the end of the day, even this fan base, we're the same fan base that celebrated. I've seen the fan base celebrate not signing John Duran. Oh, clearly they got so good. They know what they're doing. We almost got John Duran. They're banging. Oh, we almost got Desiree. They didn't join. You didn't get them over the line. I've never seen a club celebrate not signing someone. We got cool. You didn't get John Duran over the line. You didn't get Desiree Doué. They didn't want to come. Barcola didn't want to come. The reason we even stumbled on Cole Palmer is because Barcola and Elise both didn't come. Elise, fair enough, we got threatened to get sued. He didn't come the year after. Elise Oshiman didn't come. Our project isn't attractive to the top players, the players that they are identifying. So even that alone, you got to pull this onto because I get to a certain point now. There's certain things that the ownership are briefing to the board. Oh, there's only 100 or 150K a week you can give out to these players. There's only XYZ incentives, financials, all of that plays a part in us not bringing the players. That's when you now have to point the finger on the ownership. Oh, the model needs to change. But there's so many people that are to blame for the reason that we are. Win Stanley and Lawrence Stewart are the fool guys. They're criminals. They're the fool guys. What's up? It's upstairs too. You look at the club. The people that have hired Win Stanley and Lawrence Stewart are novices. They've never ran a football club before in their lives. You go down to Win Stanley and Lawrence Stewart. The man themselves have been. Win Stanley was at Derby County as a video analyst. He was at Manchester City as a video analyst. The 2 years they didn't win the league in the 2010s. And then he went to Brighton. Lawrence Stewart was at RB Barringtino and a Monaco team that almost got relegated. They have never been under any pressure to ever compete and win titles. You go down to the manager, Enzo Maresca is his first year in Premier League football. You go down to the player last season. I said this to you, Lewis. Barring Thiago Silva and Raheem Sterling, Reece James wasn't available at the time and Kunku wasn't available. No one in the squad played over 150 league appearances. We have a team of novices from an ownership standpoint, novices in a director standpoint, novices in managerial standpoint, and novices in personnel. How do you expect to win anything? Where do you see this project going? Everyone keeps saying, oh, we're young. Everyone's going to grow together and be at their prime at the same time. That's what Robert says. Big up Robert. He's clearly like super soldier. I tell him all the time. It's like they put the Bucky, Bucky from Marvel, they injected him with the Clear Lake super serum. And he got a defense and excuse for anything to do with Clear Lake. But their theory is everyone's going to be on foot in their prime at the same time. Colwell when he's 27, Palmer, Caicedo, Mudryk, Paez, Estavio.
I'm about 27 years old. Oh, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what they're saying. But since when has progress been linear? Since when has improving? It's not FIFA where in 5 years your rating goes up. Because by that logic, Mason Mount should have won the Ballon d'Or by now. He should be Jude Bellingham right now, according to this measure. Do you know what I'm saying? We've seen the likes of Dele Alli. I've seen bare wonder kids fall off. Bojan Kirkic at Stoke, fam. Giovanni Dos Santos, he ended up at Tottenham. Alexandra Pato, El Shaarawy. I could name so many wonder kids we thought were going to be superstars, and they're nothing now. So why do you think we can put a team of all these young men and do something? Nkunku's 27. Tosin's 26. These men are in their prime, According to you lot, shouldn't Nkunku be winning the Ballon d'Or now or the Golden Boot at least? This is what I don't understand.
It's also the other thing though, where our experience sucks.
I think it's a bit harsh though with the end of the day, our project it's been appealing to certain players, but we still end up getting Caicedo, Lavia, Enzo Fernandez, Colwell, who literally could have said, "Bun, man, I want to go to Liverpool or something." He's signed a 6-year deal, and even the likes of Oshiman and Elise, I think they were 1 foot away from joining Chelsea.
It was the wages.
1 foot. And Elise, I think Crystal Palace did the man thing and just offered him 250K a week or something. Mad wages, and Chelsea weren't gonna match. And the Oshiman, I think he was one foot away from joining us. So if you look at it on paper, there's a few good players there who are let's be real, Caicedo, Lavia, Enzo Fernandez. You're not gonna get before they join Chelsea, you're not gonna find any better than that.
Okay,
yeah, but we're not saying they've missed with everybody.
Let me just stop you there because, cool. Enzo was 6 months removed from River Plate when we signed him. Caicedo, baller, salute, clap. My favorite. I think he's our best player. That's my favorite
Even
player.
yesterday he was good.
Everyone says I hate all the players and that Caicedo is my favorite player in this team. Caicedo was 2 years removed from the Ecuadorian league. Lavia played his first really professional season under Southampton, which got relegated, and we signed him. You look at, for example, Real Madrid, who got under 25 project. They got Jude Bellingham, experience, creme de la creme of the under 25s. This is what you got to do. They got Camavinga, he's got mad minutes under his belt. Chouameni, who was doing his business in the League One. You're getting the likes of Valverde. You're getting this is like Mbappe. They signed at 25. You're buying the under 25 players that are experienced and know what it takes to win. We're signing people who are novices in this game. Of course, they're gonna come and join us. It's life changing. You think if Enzo Fernandez, who's 6 months removed from Liverpool, is not gonna look at Chelsea and say, "Yes, no, I'm not coming."
See, that's come on, bro. Like, he had options though. It's not like we were only in for him. Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Lavia, all three of those players could have basically went to any club they wanted in the Premier League. If we're being real, they could have went to anyone apart from maybe Man City. They were. Real here, man. Let's not be too hard.
I know, Ziad, but we're missing the point. We're not saying that they've missed with everybody.
No,
we're saying that in spite of all of that, they've spent 1.4 billion and there's still gaping holes in the squad that haven't just popped up now. They've been there for like the last year. And they still have
the squad planning is being bad, but that 1.4 billion is their whole plan, Lewis. That 1.4 billion includes random 16-year-olds. That includes idiots that they're gonna flip. That includes the starting 11 players. Even though that's the whole project. But I do agree
that we should be patterned before that point.
Yeah, I mean that's just.
Not even before that point. By this point, it should.
By this point, yeah, we shouldn't still need a striker and cover for midfield when in January and whatnot. I agree. We should have
maybe a replacement, a standout goalkeeper.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I'm saying everyone like yesterday that squad wasn't worth 1.4 billion. Even when we had our full strength team at the start of the season, that wasn't 1.4 billion. That 1.4 billion is their whole project. It's the Estavals and players that have come on and they've gone on loan and left already.
Bro, we know that. It's just ultimately you spent that money and the first team still has gaping holes that have been there for a year, if not more.
It's true.
In spite of all of that, we all know this, but like ultimately, how many windows have we gone asking for a centre back and for a striker?
And a keeper. Don't forget a keeper.
The what? Yeah, and the goalkeeper. And I know we're not even going to get a goalkeeper in the summer anyway. It's going to be Petrovic for Jorgensen. But you know what? That's even an upgrade because there's no Sanchez. So whatever. Get me the striker. Get me a centre-back with the recovery pace to like supplement Fofana when he can't play because he ain't going to be able to play all of next season anyway. And I guess Santos and that Isugo kid will be enough midfield depth. I don't want to see us buy another midfielder for at least another 4 years.
No, we need bro. The thing is, everyone wants to go to the Champions League, yeah. Are you seeing the level of midfielders, for example, PSG have the quality in terms of the Vitinhas, and then they can bring up like where is Zay Emery off the bench? They've got a serious midfield. You know, João Neves, all of this. Most of these top teams in the world, Barcelona, Real Madrid, if you want to go to the Champions League, we can't go to the Champions League with a pivot of Enzo and Caicedo. We're getting killed. I don't even want to imagine. I don't think Lavia is going to be fit. I can't rely on you being fit, so I'm not going to put you in the equation. We need some sort of quality ball winners, extra legs in the midfield. We don't have that, and I've been asking for that since last year. Them signing nonsense midfielders like Isugo and all of this, Mogu and that. I agree. That's madness. We need to address the squad, but that's needed in the squad. Do you want to go to the Champions League to say, yeah, we had a nice European away day, or do you actually want to compete in the Champions League? Because if we do, we need to address the midfield. We need a whole new spine. We need a goalkeeper. We need 2 centre backs. We need quality midfielders. A quality midfielder. Caicedo and Enzo. I think Enzo would actually benefit against European teams in the Champions League because the game state is much more slower and he will benefit from that. But we need extra quality in that midfield. We need a striker.
That'd be Andre Santos, though, no?
Big up Andre Santos. I hope he does well. But I don't know if I'm at a position where I'm comfortable having Andre Santos at the Bernabeu. Now, I hope he bangs. I'm not a Strasbourg expert. I'm not them type of guys that lie about who I'm watching and what things I watch. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Am I confident enough to say I want Andre Santos can win us a game at the Bernabeu?
I understand. You need to see him at Chelsea. I get it.
Yeah, at any time. Hopefully, I want him to do Brazilian as well. I always root for Brazilians, so salute to them. But even another thing that just reminded me, about this model. Why I think the model will change once the manager and sporting directors go together. Why the sporting directors will even go? Because the model essentially was to buy players on the cheap and flip them for profit. These directors brought in Datro Fofana, who's rotting in Cobham right now. Casadei, we sold at a loss. David Washington, we loaned out. We signed him for 18 million, no profit. Giggsy, we made a bit of chump change on. Most of these players that we're doing for the model, Yao Felix, we ain't going to be able to move him on. In Kunku, we got priced out. We can't move on. All of these players we're bringing in, we're actually not making a profit for. So essentially, the model is flawed. And as well as that, we're losing money not being in Champions League football. We're losing money not being in these upper echelon of competitions, not getting prize money. The squad's not good. All in all, the model has to change now. It's so flawed that even on a business standpoint, I want to remind you they're private equity. No front of shirt sponsor because of all of this stuff. They're going to have to change it. It's not like this is the last year to put this together and for it to work, and it has failed. Enough's enough.
No, but that makes sense to me anyway, because I always thought like you can't just keep constantly buying youth without, because you got a base already. I always thought like the way this youth project made sense was to have a youth base, let them grow and develop, and then add experience in the areas that we're lacking strength at. And like that would be how you build a team that's capable of going for league titles. Like my hope would have been that once we get into the UCL, like we would be able to offer higher wages and we would be able to try and go for these bigger names. And then maybe we'd see the step up. That's why I was always like a bit quieter when it came to the owners and the sporting directors, because I believed if we were to get top 4, things would change. Now it's just like, okay, look, we fucked it last year when we were meant to get. I needed to see strength. We haven't seen any strength in the windows. Now I just think you lot are incompetent. And like you just preferred the profit over us actually getting to that point and being able to challenge.
But even there's no profit,
though. We went for the players. But we went for them, bro. We went for Elise. We went for Oshiman. We went for, bro, even what's his name? Even Neto, bro. Like these players they're not bums, bro. They're like, let's be real. I don't think top 4 is gonna stop them from going for them.
Neto, I got an eye on him still. I won't.
Honest question, yeah.
Bro, let's be real, man. This top 4 is not gonna stop us from even if we don't get top 4, we'll still go in for Oshiman. We'll still go in for Gyökeres.
If we go in for Oshiman, it will be the same shit again with the wages. And Gyökeres, I don't think we're interested in him. Look how many players we've spoken to about Sporting, and there's not been one Gyökeres link.
Lewis, G, please, it's March. We're not going to get linked. We're not going to sign Gyökeres behind the scenes in March.
I'm not saying sign him. I'm saying there's not been a single link while we've gone to Stratford to them and got 2 players.
Not now. No, it won't be.
You think there wouldn't be any link, no source, no nothing? Come on, bro. I'm not saying I need to see at this point. I'm saying like Chelsea are in talks over Gyökeres in the summer or something. Yeah, but Chelsea have been speaking to Gyökeres as representatives or something.
Yeah, but at the same time, we know how Chelsea run. Chelsea, we signed Neto overnight. No one knew anything about him. We just got him like that.
Yeah, that's one transfer that was done overnight, and that was probably because it was Jorge Mendes.
Bro, listen, it's a long summer. It's a long summer window. And I don't think top 4.
Look how many. Look at the stock. Look at the stock of all of these top players, yeah, and how it's fallen at this club. Enzo Fernandez was regarded one of the best young talents in the world. He gets disrespected on a daily basis. I think Caicedo is probably the best, or not, if not the best, the second. About that, Rodri's not fit midfielder in the league. Look how he gets disrespected. Cole Palmer, look at the way he gets looked at. Wonder what their talent is. All the stock of all of these players has fallen at the club. Why would these top young players look at this project and want to come as it is? And as well as that, we're not offering bread. Is it that so you're gonna come here, get a wage cut, not compete, get slandered by the fan base, rightfully so for being shit, and your stock's done. Neto, look at the way we used to look at Neto. I used to rate Neto before coming in. Now I ask the question, in all seriousness, from what I've seen at Chelsea,
Our fan base stinks though, CB man.
I'm not blaming the fans for this though. Our fan base stinks.
But our fan base, bro, all over Twitter is Noni Madueke. Sorry, Noni Madueke. I apologize, Noni Madueke.
That's
Bro, you're having a laugh, bro.
Even that's a mid-off. Our fan base are just
that is a mid-off, but it says a lot that we do miss the likes of Noni and Jackson.
It's not about mid-off or not. It's just like, bro, you're telling me Noni Madueke would change anything against Arsenal?
Noni Madueke would at least be able to play wide, drive at players, and try to test the goalkeeper, whether his decision making is good enough or not.
Bro, but like you two, I got a question for you two. Yeah, no seriousness. From what we've seen from both players at Chelsea, what does Timo Werner do that Neto can't do?
Hey, listen.
What does Neto do that Timo Werner can't do?
Hey, listen. Hey, CB, listen.
No. I know it sounds crazy, but honestly, you tell me from a footballing standpoint,
Timo Werner's not a footballer.
What has Neto done that Werner can't do?
Werner's not a footballer. But listen, CB Lewis.
Hey, no.
Oh, don't
I
need to go break my fast, bro. I need to go break my fast.
You're taking a piss, bro.
No, Timo Werner. That brother's not a footballer, bro.
Bro, you think about I get it. Neto needs like a box striker to cross the ball into, but fuck me, it's like all he can do is just run in a straight line.
No.
Werner had no
on the pitch
well.
with Timo Werner, you wouldn't tell the difference.
Werner didn't have a striker either, by the way.
No, you wouldn't tell the difference.
Sometimes he had to play up top.
Well, I do agree with Oliver. He is probably still a better finisher.
Come on, man. Anyway, listen to me, man. Big up to every single one.
He's a better finisher when he's only got.
Ziad, bless up, man. Link to Ziad's channel is in the title as well. Everybody go sub over to Ziad. Great to have you on, man.
Take care, bro.
So wait, hold on. How is Neto a better finisher when he only has 12 career league goals in the Premier League? In his whole career, he's got 12 goals in the Prem. No, sorry, he's got 14 now. And I was just for context, yeah. Since Callum Hudson-Odoi has gone to Nottingham Forest,
Prime, I'll drop you the link.
He's got 13. He's got 13 goals in the league for Hudson-Odoi in 2 years. Neto, in his whole career, has 14 Premier League goals. How is he a better finisher than Werner?
Honestly, it's probably because I wouldn't be able to make a 10-minute comp of him missing chances. That's it. Because here's the thing. Werner's been played as like a goal threat, as like a goal-scoring winger or a striker. Neto, we even know from his time at Wolves, he was always played as a wide man, there to like beat players and get the ball into the box. That was always his game. So like we've seen enough from Werner to say you stink at finishing. You fucking suck at it.
I want to make this clear as well. I don't even rate Werner. That just shows how bad Neto has been for us. That's what I'm saying. Because I asked in a Chelsea shirt. Because I rated him. I actually rated Neto coming in. Same way I rated Werner coming in. So now, in the Chelsea shirt, what can Neto do that Timo Werner can't? Just on a footballing standpoint. If someone can tell me, even in the chat, you lot can let me know in terms of, I don't know, is it a better first touch? Does he beat his man better? Creativity? I want to know on a footballing standpoint, what does Timo Werner do? What can Timo Werner not do that Neto could do for Chelsea? Because I look at the both of them, they run down the byline, they both do that thing with that step over, that like they do the step, like one step over, then they kick and run, and then they cross it, they cut back to the byline. It often goes nowhere. Useless crosses. They're both transitional threats. They can get in behind, then their decision making in the final third is terrible. I think Neto's a better ball striker than Werner. Credit to his due. You're saying Neto when it comes to crossing, but then you'll say, oh, Neto has no striker. He has no one to cross to. Okay, how come Noni Madueke has got more assists from crossing than Neto this season? He's done the same thing, cut in and cross. Header against Cucurella against Brentford at home. That header against Shamrock Rovers with Mark Gu. So we've seen the same personnel that Noni has, that Neto has with Noni, cross and get an assist. Why has Neto not done that? You can't argue he hasn't had a striker, neither has Noni. So once again, I ask the question, what does Neto do in a Chelsea shirt that Werner can't do?
It's literally just the finishing for me. In terms of like dribbling, I genuinely don't know. And passing, Werner was actually a good passer. One of the few things I'd give him. He was a decent passer. But like, I'd probably still give Neto the crossing. I probably still would. And the finishing. That's about it.
And the fact that
probably
that's the
about it for
discussion,
now.
and that's the fact that that's the discussion on a £60 million signing, because I've pinpointed Neto for a reason. Because when I called this window a 2 out of 10, I've been calling it a 2 out of 10 from when it was happening in real time to search my tweets. But even now, every time I slander that summer window, everyone says, "But no, Neto was good. Neto was a good signing. Neto was a good signing because he cost us 60 million and he's getting outscored by a makeshift striker in Marino. Why does Marino have more league goals than you? That's mad. Like, you cost us 60 million. What we expected you to be when you've come here, you're not that. That's the truth.
I hear it. Like, Neto's been very disappointed. Like, next season, if we get the striker and he's still the same bum, then that's me done personally. Right now, I'm just side-eyeing him heavily. Same with Sancho. I see man saying talk about Sancho. Yeah, like this guy, I'm side-eyeing him as well. I needed him to turn up for us because, like, I've seen our best forward line: Sancho, Jackson, Palmer, Noni. All the other three are gone. I need something from you. I need you to try and take the game by the scruff of the neck. You're just being a pussy. All game just being a fucking pussy. Not moving off the ball, doing nothing on the ball, not trying to drive at goal, not trying to be a threat. Lazy. Fucking lazy. Same thing with Nkunku. Fucking lazy. The pair of them. Now, at least Sancho's shown me enough in the first half of the season, so I'm not treating him the same way I'm treating Nkunku. But fuck me, you got these performances had better improve before the end of the season. Or you know what? I might actually want us to try and take that penalty fee. I ain't saying it yet.
I want to take it.
Yet. Huh?
I want to take it. I'll be honest. Like, the wages, firstly, even right now, we pay him 180k a week. If we were to sign him,
I thought it was 100k each.
He's on 280k.
I thought he like reduced his wages like Sterling did for the year. Because like Sterling, we pay 100, Arsenal pays 100.
To be fair, you might be right because I'm basing this off of a Twitter ITK. Well, for them journalists that tweet stuff. So if we don't, we don't. I'm not gonna die on that hill. Anyway, his wages are gonna be him coming in. He'll be one of the highest earners on our team. You haven't completed you've completed one cross since December 26th. You haven't completed.
Yeah, he's on 100k.
Yeah, 100k. You ain't hit a shot on target since December 26th. Why are you here? What do you offer us? Like, we need to stop giving sympathy to these players. They're paid employees of the club. If you're not performing to a certain standard, you get the sack. Simple. Like, it's not hard. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you work, I don't know. If you're let's just say I'm a Canary Wolf black, you know, I wear turtlenecks and a briefcase to work, and I go to Canary Wolf and I'm slacking every time I'm there, just doing straight foreplay. Because Sancho is just mad foreplay. It's the football we're getting. Sexy dribble, sexy dribble, sexy dribble, sexy dribble, pass backwards. He's the type of guy that likes to hold titties from outside the bra. You know what I'm saying? The girl's like, oh, unhook my bra, you can touch. He's like, no, I prefer it like this. I like the material. He's one of them, man.
With the clothes on and all that.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? He's a dry humpers. He's a foreplay merchant. You know what I'm saying? He likes to edge it, and then he's happy with it. He's the type of guy, you know what I'm saying, that will lips you up, you know what I'm saying, get the coochie wet, and then be like, no, I got to go home. He's just a tease. I don't need that in my club. We don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Go and do your thing. Like, I don't need this foreplay here, bro. I want guys that can penetrate. You know what I'm saying? I need guys that can get the business done. That's why I even nicknamed Neto Jordi El Nino when he joined us. I was like, we got Jordi El Nino.
Crazy.
Real, for much, shoulder shake of the fact she said crazy, clocked who he was straight away.
Crazy, bro. I've probably dropped that line before as well. That's why.
What'd you be getting up to, Lewis?
Hey, you know the name too, man. Let's not get it twisted.
But I called him Jordi El Nino because I was like, this guy's up. He's going to do the work. He's fucking these man's defenses. He's another guy, timid. He must have ED or something because he ain't working right now. Hopefully, I'm willing to, only person out of all of these new signings, I'm willing to give another year's maybe Neto, because I think he's got enough credit in the bank as a Premier League footballer that's shown me you're actually good enough. So I will give him another year.
I'm throwing Sancho there just only off the first half of the campaign because I remember the first half and he was very good. Whatever happens from the Man City game has just been fucking garbage. It's been straight cheeks. But like, I'm with you on this because I get Sancho is a safe type of player. I don't mind that in certain games. This is not the game for it. Like when you got guys like Palmer and you got guys like Jackson, you can afford to be a little bit safer. But we've seen that I've seen in games before where he turns up and he takes the game by the scruff of the neck. Why the fuck didn't you do that in this game? Why weren't you the guy taking the attack? Because nobody else was. And that's my problem, because our best attack in the first half of the campaign had you in it. So I know that there's a good player in there. You've shown it in this shirt. You showed it from the off. Where the fuck has he gone? Because everybody else has dropped off. You're the only one we can rely on. And you're not even doing anything. Now the attack's fucked. Like, that's why coming out of the game, like, the first thing I'm thinking of is that front line. We were doomed from the start. Like, Palmer is so out of form, it's insane. But the fact that we still miss him to this extent says a lot about the other forwards that we still have. Big up, Prime.
My issue is having guys that when we need you, you don't show up. I don't want guys like that in my team. I've seen two instances where Sancho's done that when he showed up. Bournemouth, when he come off the bench in his debut away from home, and he was moving like Neymar. And then Spurs, when he was 2 goals down and he slapped it outside the box. That's it. Now, if we're signing him, you're going to be one of the highest earners in the team. What's that? Oh, love. I'm going to be one of the highest earners in the team, yeah? And then, as well as that, we're now going to have to rely, we're going to expect you to now be a starter because of this. Because you're a high earner, you know the politics, you're a high earner, you're going to have to play these games and you can't show up. I'd rather not, man. Like,
I'd expect Sancho to join within the wage structure too. There's no way like we're breaking the wage structure for him. No way. Because man, he ain't done enough for that. So like, I don't think we do that. I'd expect him to, he's on 100k now. You might see it like go up like maybe 10, 20k. And that should be about it. I wouldn't expect anything more. Just quickly, I'm going to go through a few of these super chats because these man been waiting. Big up Pachara saying, heard about Mercedes kicking JD from commentary. JD, is that AEW? I'm not too sure. Pachara, let me know. Just don't have to be a super chat. Let me know. Judo Gnome says, just a thought. If the revenue is not there due to the stadium size, for example, attendance, don't you think they would need to continue flipping players to compensate? I'm not even saying don't do that. I'm saying get the first team ready. You've had 3 seasons and the first team still has these glaring holes. Flip all you want. We had the loan army with Roman. I don't care about that. I care about the state of the first team. And honestly, if the state of the first team was fine, nobody would even talk about these youth players that we were flipping. No one would give a shit. Everything else gets micro-analyzed when the team isn't performing to the required level, and especially when we don't improve in the windows. And that's why the focus goes on to these players. Just pattern the first team and no one cares about this flip model.
First and foremost, spot on. Everything you said, spot on. But to answer this question, yeah, about the revenue of the stadium and all of that, when we get a new stadium, you need to understand, you've seen it with Arsenal and Spurs. The new excuse was going to be, and I promise you it's going to happen when it happens. Oh, we've got depth from the stadium and we can't invest in the squad anymore. Oh, we can't invest anymore. We're going to, if anything, need more money from the stadium being built for the first couple of years until we've recouped. So even that, with the stadium talk, I want us to address the first team before we get the stadium, and we're stuck while it's being developed, not being able to invest in the squad. A couple years after it's been made, we're having to recoup and not investing in the squad. We can only do that once the first team is serious. I don't want to have be an Arsenal. Arsenal went on their 9 years without a trophy in the Emirates era. The moment they built that stadium, because they didn't invest in the squad, they were doing this penny pinching for years. They only started spending money when they got Alexis Sanchez and Ozil. Aubameyang in 2017, and then Declan Rice was their big money signing, and still then look at them. I'd rather have a serious first team than build the stadium. Then it doesn't matter about reinvesting in the squad. That's simple.
And then that's where also this youth model would be a bit more helpful in that, because it would already be implemented. There would be younger players that you could keep relying on throughout that period. But again, the first team needs to be patterned and successful in order to even have the faith in that. Oh, that's fucking crazy. I'm going to have to research into that, Petrara. Thank you for letting me know. I never even knew about that. Bless up. Big up Wings saying, I mean, Sancho is light skin. 4 players mandatory. That's mad. That's mad. Shout out to Wing, bro. Big up to you, bro.
Hey, I'm going for a piss real quick. Big up Primers.
Yeah, no worries, CB. Do your thing, man. Bless up. Prime, what are you saying, brother? Oh, HR, thank the Lord, man. I was worried I was going to miss that because of A-listers. Thank God. Brilliant. Yeah, sorry, Prime. What are you saying? Oh, yeah, your mic's off. Your mic's off.
I didn't turn it on. What about in particular?
The what?
What about in particular?
Just thoughts on the game or just anything we're talking about. Like, just, you got any thoughts?
Well, yeah, the game was weird. Like, if you look at the shots and stuff, people were trying to twist the narrative and say Arsenal dominated us, but they didn't. Arsenal didn't really do anything to threaten us. The big thing was Sanchez, like being Sanchez and playing us into danger. Badi show shaky in the first half. I think he did better in the second. But again, like that game ends 1-0 or 0-0, if not for Sanchez just being a bozo. Us going forward, the only real chance we had was that Correa shot. What, in the 37th minute or something?
Yep, the one that Ryan nearly fumbled into the net.
Yeah, but again, it's like, what do people expect? We don't have any goal scorers. What do people expect for it being bad? The whole Neto and Werner take is crazy. I'll be so crazy. I don't know how you can make that.
It's crazy, but I was really trying to think about it. I was like, I didn't really have a lot.
It's crazy. Neto's better at beating his man. Neto's more creative. Neto can actually cross a ball. Neto's a better ball striker, though he's not a goal scorer. He's still a better ball striker.
I hear that, but Werner was quietly creative. His problem was he was an offside merchant and couldn't score in a brothel.
Yeah, hey, Lewis, you're talking to me.
Lewis,
I'm the same guy that, in Werner's first season, I wasn't someone who was slandering him. I was actually defending him.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I
felt like I was dying out here doing it, but yeah.
But because I saw the bigger problem in Havertz from the first season. So I was someone who was saying, Werner's not that bad. Havertz is the bigger problem. But,
Fair play, Prime. Fair play, then, if you were on that. Because even I didn't see it till season 2.
Yeah, I saw it. And I'm the same one that said when we brought in Lukaku that he's not going to, we still need a creator in the team. That's why I wanted Kane instead, even though I rated Lukaku. I wanted Kane instead, because Kane can actually create. And, Reece went down, Chilwell went down, and we saw Havertz and Mount. We saw what happened. But yeah, in terms of our wingers situation, I'm not the biggest fan of them, to be fair. Sancho, I've never rated, even when he was at Dortmund originally. Neto, no one watched him really when he was at Wolves. So people who were saying that he's this amazing player, you don't watch the guy. And Madueke, I don't know what he did at PSV, but at Chelsea, he's he does some good things, and then his decision making in the final third is just annoying. But when I look at those 3 wingers that we have, they would do a lot better with a box present striker. Sancho, his best spell at Dortmund when he had Haaland, and even last January, or the second half of last season, when he had Fulkrug playing up top. Neto at Wolves, when he had Jimenez. Why didn't we get a box present striker? If we had one, our wingers would be doing a lot better. Our team in general would be doing a lot better because we'd actually be scoring and sustaining our attacks. Palmer, he's been poor for 2, maybe almost 3 months now, but he should have been dropped a lot earlier because of his bad form. But because we don't have anyone else to come in, he couldn't have been dropped. Same with Jackson. Lewis, remember I was saying this early with Jackson? That he's burnt out, he needs to get dropped. But because we had no one else, or Maresca was unwilling to use, say, a Mark Q or a Felix or an Nkunku, which I think he's actually justified in the Nkunku and Felix thing, because we've seen Nkunku now playing, he's ass. Felix is at Milan and he's still ass. So as much as we can say use the squad a bit more, when he's used the squad at times, they've not backed it. Remember the Newcastle game in the Carabao Cup when he used the squad? It's amazing. You remember people saying, we have 2 squads, guys. We have the best attack.
I hear that, but I think Maresca also was naive with the bench options he brought with him.
No, he was. But again, this is the same squad. People were saying that's amazing. And he used that squad, and it showed that it's not actually that good.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But even then again, like the Sassy right back, Dewsbury Hall right wing.
I know, but he still used. But that's our second squad, bro. That's our second squad that was playing in Conference League, and that's my point. Like people, I've been very critical of the squad building. That you don't go from Poch, and Maresca in terms of the philosophy, not the quality of manager, but the philosophy. You don't go from done 3 in a row. It doesn't make sense to me. You don't bring in a player like Gusto, who was brilliant under Poch last year because he was playing as a fullback, a wingback basically. And now under Maresca, he's being told to invert and play as an 8 or a false 10, and he's not doing well at it at all. Doesn't make sense. The squad building has been poor for a very long time, but people just don't notice it, or people don't want to speak on it. And that's why the protest that was going on 2 weeks ago, I wasn't backing it. As people were angry because we had lost a few games. Notice now, remember I was saying, you guys will protest, will win the Leicester game, and nothing will happen afterwards? Why was there no protest afterwards?
But you want people to protest.
Where's the energy? Where's the consistency? If people actually care, every game, be consistent. Be consistent. Yes.
Every game.
Yes, be consistent.
Bro, are you making any sense?
Be consistent with the protests.
Bro,
because
you acting like people are not running around saying, "Oh yeah, they're doing a good job." Every game we should protest.
Okay, but if people want to be consistent, but CB, but you get my point though, because the protest was was the Leicester game, and then was it Leicester or Southampton? One of them two before. Southampton, and then was it Bowley that basically did a thing after the game or a few days after the game, and essentially was like, "Fuck your protests." And then we signed another 16-year-old after that. So
that was a diss.
Yeah, and I know. But the thing is, why didn't we follow it up? Where I'm not saying fine if you don't want to protest every game, but why don't we protest every 2 games or every home game? Because I've been saying this. I'm not backing.
I agree.
But people are. Like I said, I don't back it for various reasons because I think it's all scattergun. But if you guys are consistent, I'll defend it. If the fan base is consistent with the protest, I'll then defend it because at least you're showing me that people actually want to care. When you protested last year, you did your one protest. You went to protest last year, and that was called off or whatever, and nothing happened afterwards.
100%. That's what I'm saying. That's my issue because I went to a protest. Everyone was promoting it, all of that, and I went there, and I was the only one there. I came from another country. I was the only one there. I felt like when Jesus cried at the temple, he wept at the temple because he realized his people were too far gone. That's how I felt. That was last year.
I know.
Anytime
that's why
I don't have the pull or the power to organize protests. I'm just this any guy. I can do it. I will show up. I will go by myself. Next time I might even just take my laptop and stream outside of Stamford Bridge. Protest.
And that's why the people who were organizing the protest, right, that happened 2 weeks ago, I wasn't backing it because I knew the people who were doing it. They were doing it for agenda purposes. You're not doing it because you actually care. If it was Lewis running it, for example, you know what? I'd back it because I know why Lewis is protesting, and I agree.
No, but even then, like, you see, you say that because you know me, but there'd be other men who will say, "Oh, he's just doing it for clicks and to be famous and everything." Like, even the last protest had the same thing. All it is just YouTubers just there.
Well, you know, but Lewis, you know what it is, though, right? You're actually consistent.
Some people don't think I am, though. Again, it's all in the eyes of the person watching.
True, but we can now see the people who are, or at least
the amount of people who say now, you don't keep the same energy that you had for Poch and all of that shit. Like,
but for me, the whole Poch and Maresca thing is all. I'm tired of it now. if we're still debating whether our current manager is better than the last one, then can I not then look at the sporting directors? You fucked up. Why are we debating this halfway into or over halfway into a season whether this manager is better than the last guy? Why? Why is this a conversation? It shouldn't be.
The issue is, a lot of people last year were calling out the sporting directors, loudly calling out the sporting directors. The argument was, this team is good enough, this manager's holding us back. Now, we've all realized, it took some people, I don't mind people being behind, or you've realized now that the team's dead, or you realize now the directors, or you realize now Blue Code don't know what they're doing. As long as now we're on the same page, I don't mind. That's what I don't like about, because we're considered extremists. That's how we're looked at. We're like, we're looked at as the terrorist part of the fan base who are just anti-establishment and all of this. I don't like that the majority of them, man, do this when people are like, oh, we're finally calling out the directors as a unit. It's like, no, don't do that now. You look back your manager. This manager, this, that, like, fuck the manager talk. It's way higher. It's even higher than the directors. It's the ownership. I think for me, like, I say it all the time, like with the Maresca thing, there's two reasons why I think let's pull the trigger and get him going. One, Ancelotti's available in the summer. Two, I believe once he goes, the directors go with him, and the model finally changes. He's the last attempt at this model.
I disagree with that, bro. I think like for me, the Maresca stuff, I don't think he's as bad as what people make him out to be. However, I also know that at Chelsea, the level like Chelsea's meant to be, the standard we're meant to be, you don't bring in a guy that has 1 year of experience from the championship, no matter how good the guy may be. I said the same thing when we had Lampard back in 2018, and I was saying, Lewis, remember, I was saying this, that we shouldn't have someone from the championship, and people were giving me abuse because it's Lampard and he's a legend.
Yes.
You now have this.
We had the 7-hour Lampard out streams then.
I have an abuse for this now. And it's now kind of the same thing. Even though I believe Maresca is better than Lampard, I think Maresca is a good coach. He's so inexperienced. He shouldn't be at Chelsea doing this on the fly. Same with Arteta at Arsenal. I think Arteta is a good coach, but Arsenal now should be winning things, and Arteta's just not there yet. He should go.
But do you know what the issue is as well with the Maresca hire?
Yeah.
Poch was on a 2-year deal. The plan for Poch was to build this team into a team, get them used to compete, what it takes to compete, get us Champions League football for a year. Obviously, he's meant to get this first season. Champions League football for a year. Then, obviously, they know what it takes to be in Champions League. Then you leave and you bring us a top manager.
Mm-hmm.
You've got rid of him. We're linked to, even at the time when we were talking about getting rid of him, it was bring me Amarin because he's won league titles. Bring me the only one I didn't. The one that was mad was De Zerbi, but a lot of man was doing that De Zerbi talk. That was the furthest you would go with this JDP experiment. Then it was bring me Fancy Flick, bring me Tuchel back. Everyone was going for big experienced players and managers. You brought in a project manager for Maresca, which was nothing nobody wanted. Then now the majority of the fan base is running around saying, "Oh well, give him time. By year 3 of the project, by this." That was never the plan. You guys didn't even want that either. Why do we take it? Why do we eat up all the PR briefs that Ben Jacobs and all of these men spout out for the board? I wish we just had a mind about.
And you see how they go back on that PR as well, because all we were told a couple months ago, 3-year plan. Next year we get top 4. This season, the season after we go for the league. Now, a couple weeks afterwards, Maresca comes out saying, "Oh, top 4 is always the target," all just because of the protest talk.
But the thing is, it's fine.
Why we can't take anything they say seriously. I stopped listening to Maresca in press conferences now.
But
I'll get the quotes, but I don't give a fuck what he says.
But it's fine if you want to say 3-year plan. But then you have to start moving with the same ambition. So if you saying 3-year plan, but last summer you had got me, Osimhen, Elise, a top center back, that's showing me, okay, you're showing me that in 2 years, 3 years, then we're challenging. You're showing me that ambition. But if you're getting, like, when we hired Poch, right, the idea of bringing in an experienced manager that's used to coaching a young team to challenge for a title, that I agree with that. But they fucked up in it being Poch. What they should have done is get Enrique, for example, or Flick, managers who have actually done it and proven it, not Poch, who at that moment in time was washed. But they got Poch instead. It didn't work, and now they've gone completely against it and decided, okay, young team, let me get a young coach. And that doesn't work. For me, if you're going to do this young team bullshit and not bring in any experienced guys with them or quality experienced guys with them, then you got to get me the quality experienced coach to do it.
Look at PSG, for example. That's an under-25s model. They got Luis Enrique. Barcelona, even when they had Xavi, yeah, a lot of people like to do the Xavi or Barcelona comparison with a young team and all of this stuff. They had Lewandowski as their striker. They had Jules Koundé. They will bring it. They had Christensen, who's won the Champions League, whether you lot rate him or not. They had Marcus Alonso. Experience, but there was experience. What top players, world class in Lewandowski's case, playing for the team. PSG, they've got a top manager.
Marquinhos.
Brother,
Like Marquinhos, there's some experience. Dembele, he's got experience.
Our project has
Donnarumma.
never ever been done in football.
Yeah, Donnarumma too, even for his age, he's got hella experience.
Yeah, I know. HM, I know Xavi won the Liga, but my point is there was a world-class experienced players in that team. So he could have been a young manager, but he had experience. You can't do novice square, novice cubed with directors, not manager and players. That don't work.
Or just garbage experience that ain't won anything, because we do have experience, but they're just trash. And Kunku, trash. Tosin, I won't say he's trash, but like he ain't no needle mover.
Right.
Who's the other one? There's one player that's like 25, 26. Who am I missing?
Sanchez.
Oh, don't fucking get me started. Yeah, him.
But even that Sanchez stuff, the money we spent on Sanchez, Penders, Jorgensen, Slolina, Petrovic, could have just got a top keeper. Diogo Costa's release cost is 51 million.
No, but even if we say that, Petrovic, he's good enough to be playing. He's more than good enough to be playing. Because a lot of these like young, up-and-coming goalkeepers around, like Costa, I know people say he's talented, but whenever I watch him, he gives me a bozo gene. And then there's that Chevalier guy that plays for Lille that I've not seen myself personally. I have no opinion on him.
Yeah, I'm just following like Strasbourg Steve on that one.
Yeah, Steve said he's quality, right, but I've not seen him, so I don't have an opinion personally. But we look at CP said Costa's Portuguese keeper. Yeah, first. But when you look at Petrovic,
there's that John Garcia guy as well. I've seen Maldini point him out a few times.
But Petrovic, I'm willing to go with him for a year, and then we'll see how the goalkeeper market changes. But in terms
at least
of
Petrovic has shown improvement this season.
Yeah, and like so weird because we can still get top 4. It's there, but there are fine margins that can fuck us up. Sanchez genuinely fuck us up. What?
Prime, do you have faith in this manager to get results from Newcastle away from home, Liverpool at home, United at home, and Forest away?
We have big games. We haven't won a big game this season, so no, I have no confidence. However, games of the season. I know, but with our goal scorers coming back in Jackson, Madueke, Palmer, did he pull out of international duty now?
Yeah, he ain't going to England.
Cool. So with them being back after an international break, well, our goal scorers being back, then I don't know. We'll see. I still think we can get over the line for top 4. And also the teams around us as well. They're up and down and inconsistent. Like,
yes.
That's a top 4.
Also, I want to add on that quickly. I just want to add to your point quick, because you said something that I wanted to touch on like 10 minutes ago. All 3 of those injured players, they kind of needed some time away from the first team anyway.
Yep.
So now they're coming back, like, call it hopium. I don't mind if you do it, but I low-key think they needed the timeout. Like, bringing them back at the run-in might help us a bit more. They'll be a bit more refreshed. They won't have not as much pressure on them from past bad performances and everything. It's a bit of a fresh start for all 3 of them. That might help us in this run-in.
Yeah, because we saw last season with Jackson when he remember before he went AFCON, he wasn't doing that well. He wasn't scoring. He went to AFCON. We saw how much we actually missed him. He came back and he was on fire for the rest of the season. Jackson, I think him having this break out is going to do him some good. Same with Palmer having 2 weeks off. no real football, just being able to relax and unwind mentally is going to help him. And we know Madueke, when he has a point to prove, he actually tends to play well. So having that together with like actually getting goals, that can help us. Now, I would have loved to have beaten Arsenal last season. I would love to have beaten Arsenal, or not last season, yesterday, and like take that into the international break and come out and like beat Spurs and just go on a bit of a run. But I still think we can get top 4 because the teams around us are not like, they're not better. They're still inconsistent like we are. So
I don't think we get top 4. I think we can finish 5th though.
Well, yeah,
that.
fine, but that's still Champions League football. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we can finish 5th. That's still a disgrace though. But
the thing is,
it is like, okay, whatever, I'm moving on.
CB, it's the same as last season, where as bad as we were like first half of the season and stuff, in the back end, the fact of everyone else was also so inconsistent, top 4 was actually there for us to get. And if we had beaten Burnley and Sheffield United, we would have got top 4. And it's the same now, where it's fine margins now, where we can get top 4 or top 5, whatever, because of how inconsistent everyone else is around us. Now, what you were saying earlier in the stream about like Caicedo and Enzo and going to the Bernabeu in the Champions League next year, if we get Champions League football, we need to make major improvements to this team. Major improvements.
Hell, Champions League or no Champions League, I need to see a brazy window in the summer.
No, I know, but especially I know, but especially in bro, I don't want my team getting embarrassed in the Champions League. Bro. I'm not Arsenal. I don't want to get embarrassed. How long have I been saying for years we're not Arsenal? Stop comparing us and stop embarrassing us like Arsenal.
Our fan base.
That's why those Caicedo quotes annoyed me, and it's clear that it's coming down from the club.
But
every time it's just like devalue like the fact that we've only been here for a year or two and just flex how they've been together for 7 years. I don't give a shit, man. Just tell me why we didn't win the game and keep it stepping. Then I can accept that at least. There's always a reason. There's always an analytical answer for it. Just do that instead of insulting my intelligence. I don't give a shit how long the team's been together.
Our fan base have become Arsenal though. Top 4 is a good season nowadays. Like we can't get top players to a back in Champions League. I heard my little brother's Arsenal fan. I've heard that for years, blood. They got Champions League football. They finished second. They had Champions League football. They answered that with Marino and Calafiori and Sterling, bro. We've become Arsenal in real time. And as soon as it's gonna be, we can't invest in the squad because we were building our stadium. I know what was happening. I've been raised with my older brother and my little brother Arsenal fans. I've seen this all in real time. We sound like them. That's why it pisses me off.
Wait, your brothers are Arsenal fans.
My older brother and my little brother are Arsenal fans. My dad's Chelsea. My mom's Arsenal, innit?
Your mom's Arsenal. Your mom's Arsenal. That makes sense then. Okay, I was confused. Fair enough. That makes sense.
And obviously, my brother's older. That man, you know what I'm saying? They were dominating.
Yo, Derby weekend must be a madness in your household.
Bro, that's why it pissed me off so much yesterday. That's why I've been so vexed. That's why I'm mad, bro. I've done a watch along with my little brother. He's laughing in my face.
I don't know how you got through the 5-0. Fuck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone home for a month.
Bro, it's mad. It's mad.
Yeah,
bro.
shit, man. Fucking hell.
Wait, how old is your brother?
Which one? The younger one?
Yeah.
17. He's born the year the summer Henry left Arsenal. He ain't seen shit.
But how did he get convinced into being an Arsenal fan?
My older brother.
Okay, you got
my older brother's 30, innit? He's invincible, all of them, man, innit? So
he got brainwashed by Invincible.
But I got my little sisters though. They're all Chelsea. Yeah, man.
Bro, I don't care about only Chelsea. You think I messaged like one Arsenal fan yesterday, and the rest of them I aired all of them. So, you coming on Xbox tonight? Piss off about Xbox. I ain't playing shit.
Still pissed off about that. Batter, I know that's not who I think it is in the chat. I know that's not who I think it is in the chat.
Oh, brother. There's not even a point going to that. But like, this is why I've said top 4 is so important for me in terms of like my perspective on the owners and the directors. Now, obviously, I don't rate them now, but my point from a year ago is if we're Arsenal, we'll get to top 4, get to UCL, and then we'll see how we move. Do we actually take the window seriously and improve the squad? Or do we just think, we got top 4, let's just stabilize and make sure the team stays within top 4 and keeps that UCL money? Now look at already, you man are all already on sus watch. All of you. Well, the sporting directors, you guys can piss off already. The only one that I think has gone down to just soft swatch might just be Bowley because he's the minority shareholder. Clear Lake and these sporting directors, done with all of them because you lot have already like fucked the last 2 windows. There's been barely any upgrade. For how annoying Maresca's been, well, for the annoying parts of Maresca's game, I look at the way we've handled the windows, and we haven't given him a strengthened squad, and that goes down to them. So,
bro, we didn't give him one, nor did we give Poch. Like my thing is,
no,
if you have a
Poch had an
manager-
improved squad from the team that finished.
no.
No, that squad was. Let's be honest. I know there's agendas. Yeah, let's actually be honest. That team was shit. This team right now is better than last season's team.
What have I done? I'm
Barely.
not trying to have
Barely.
I'm not trying to have.
Barely.
Like, I'm not.
Brother, look, we've look at the goalkeepers. There's no real upgrade there.
Guys,
Look at the back line. There's no real upgrade
Guys,
there.
No, but
Guys,
even though you're just
Just
colossal
Lavia's a bit more fit. And you look at the attack, it's Sancho and Neto, and their stock's dropping by the week.
you have Sancho, Neto, Felix.
Felix out here, to be honest. So actually, no,
That's a
Felix
better
is like,
attack than
yo,
Monu,
I don't know
Modric,
with that brother
Sterling,
either, man. Let me
Jackson
not
in his
use it.
first season. We had like, oh, bro, that team was
I will
dead.
maintain that was a squad that could have got 4th and a Carabao last season. It could have, with better coaching.
But do you know what's mad, yeah? Because I obviously we hear the argument is where were we this time last year? That's like the cool thing to say, isn't it? Like where were we this time last year? We were currently 7th, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, we were 9th. Let me get up here. Actually, give me a second.
What game week are we in?
29. So we were 9th, yeah, on 42 points. This just shows how shit the league is right now. We were 9th on 42 points, yeah. Right now we're 4th with 49 points. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're not that much. We're not that much better. And then when I say, "Oh, we haven't improved," it's, "Oh my gosh, no, you got an agenda." No, bro, we haven't. At least I got to go Wembley 2 times. I didn't even get to go Wembley, fam.
That's not.
Yeah, but I mean, like, number one, we didn't end up winning, and number two, we had easier runs in both cup competitions than what we had.
I was waiting for that. We had an easier run. Okay. So if we had an easy run, Lewis, yeah, if we had an easy run, explain to me why we lost in the round of 16 to the team that we beat in the quarterfinal in Newcastle. Explain to me why we got knocked out in the 3rd round.
You want to know why?
And we beat in the round of 16. So both teams we got knocked out to in the cup, we beat in this easy run to the final. I'm confused.
So the Newcastle game, we literally caught life because Trippier chested the ball down unwarranted in the last minute of the game, and we went to pens.
We won the game. We don't look.
Yeah, we won the game, but let's not act like we didn't catch life in that game. Come on, bro.
That's like saying going to the new camp. Yeah, when we look in 2012, we caught life because Messi missed the pen. Like we don't talk about those games like that.
No, but bro, don't do that. Because we defended so well in that game, though. Like compared to a Newcastle game, literally they were going through, and then he chests the ball in front of Modric and gives him a clear-cut chance.
A game where we were the better team. A game where we were the better team. And we conceded to a Badiashile error, and then we was dominating the whole game, created all chances, and then that's happened. So
I don't think we were the better team. They just got an early goal and went defensive.
Those were given away by both players.
So now the Brighton game, I hear it. Maresca fumbled that one. Don't get it.
I think you guys are like that. That's not the point I was trying to make when I.
That's cheeky. His coaching is way better. Better.
That's all right. Cool. Whatever. That's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the point I was trying to make. Bringing up Poch. That's not the point I was trying to make. Bringing up Poch. So can we?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know. I wasn't trying to start off a civil war, guys. Relax.
Now go for it. Last few points as well. We got to wrap in 4 minutes.
The point I was trying to make is, if you bring in a manager, then you then have to like back into what he's actually trying to do, and that's why I keep going back to like the squad building. What is the philosophy in terms of how we want to play? Our midfield pivot for 2 years now has been Caicedo and Enzo. They don't play well together. They're not a real pivot. They don't play well together. They don't. If we're going to be honest. Enzo plays well when he doesn't really have like defensive responsibility, but he's not a 10, so we can't play him as a 10. And he'll do best in a 3-man midfield, but we don't play with a 3-man midfield, we play with a double pivot. When you look at like Poch, again, I don't rate him either. But if you bring in a manager, let him play his style. You bring in players to play his style. You bring in a Maresca, and then you bring in someone like Sancho, who's not a Maresca type of winger. That doesn't make sense to me. Squad building, I keep going back to it, is very, very poor. But people won't want to speak on it. This bullshit Maresca Poch thing, I don't care. I don't care about. I don't care. Maresca can get sacked for all I care. I want the sporting directors gone. That's my problem.
Completely agree. Completely agree. With that, we're going to wrap up this stream. But it has been an amazing conversation. CB, it's been great to have you back on the channel. Prime, same to you. It's been great to have you back as well. You, man, I'm going to be live with Hussam in an hour on A-listers. So, yeah, pray for me because I've got to deal with this Hussam and Egal Gegenpress bullshit. And, yeah, I'll be live with Northside straight after that. But for now, we're redirecting over to CB.
Hussam,
he's about to go live on his channel.
Hussam, bring up to Hussam, yeah? He said that
let me know backstage. I don't want CB to lose viewers, so I'm going to send everyone over there now. Big up, everyone.